This is your 2020 Lexus NX 300, and new for 2020 is the Blackline Edition, which is what we have here. So Quirks, Perks, and Irks, and some highlights of the Blackline Edition. So one highlight is a gloss black grille. Whether you like it, whether you dislike the big spindle grille, well, it's here and it's part of Lexus. I've grown used to it. It's I don't mind it anymore. Turn signals double as your day runners, so that's that nice long line there. LED headlights, LED turn signals, LED fog lights. Another perk of the Blackline Edition is the housing for your fog lights are in black. It's going to go over to this side where the turn signal is not on, and you can see the flickering through the camera, and that's the daytime running light, which is also LED. No triple beams here, just the regular LED headlights. You got to go and get a few higher packages if you want those. Overall front end design, carryover model from last year, looks good to me. I like the gloss black grille. Another highlight of the Blackline Edition is you get body colored wheel arches as opposed to black. And it's hard to notice on camera, but with the Blackline Edition, you get bronzed out rims. So the thicker pieces, which look kind of aluminum alloy colored from here, I think the sun's got to hit it in just the right way, and then you'll notice the bronze coloring on it. Back up and give you a side look at the vehicle. Again, not much has changed from last year. Another little perk is you get gloss black mirror covers as opposed to body colored mirror covers, mirror caps with the Blackline Edition. It's going over to the rear. You can notice a lot of creases and a lot of folds in the Lexus NX 300 body design. And that's kind of what Lexus does. It's very pronounced, very unique. And again, in the beginning, just like the spindle grille, wasn't a big fan, but I've gotten used to it, and I've kind of learned to like it, and not quite love it, but I'll learn to like it. Let's go around to the rear. You have twin tailpipes, and thank you again. My need for symmetry has been fulfilled, and you get your LED turn signals, which are orange. Really smart move there. Another benefit of the Blackline Edition is you just kick your foot underneath, and that's one way to open the tailgate. You can either do it from the remote or one of the switches inside. I'll give you your cargo figures right now. And as you're taking a look at that, know that there's this nice bronze finisher on the carpet mat. And you get a little bit, if I can get it with one hand, come on. There we go. A little bit of extra storage here. There's a cargo mat in there and a couple of, let me get out of the sun, instruction, sorry, there's one instruction manual, owner's manual. There's another under there. And cargo mats just hook up in there and go across. And to get your seats down, you got levers down on that side, and this privacy cover also extends all the way, and I've moved it just for the purpose of the review, and that's how it hooks up. Taking a look inside the NX 300, let's start with the rear seats. You get your center armrest, doubles as a cup holder, push the silver button, and out they come. To me, it's over-engineered. I just would have rather had two holes in this, but that's just my 2 cents on that. Irk is there are no USB ports down here. There's just a 100-watt power source, so I wish they would have put at least one back there. You got the nice bronze stitching along the seats, just only on the seat back, not on the seat bottoms. Here's your lever to pull down your seats, and down they go. Pretty easy to do. I wish there was one back there, but that's okay. So you do get adjustable rear seats. It's not just one stop set. So you can see just how much of a variance you get. So depending on shape and size, there's a couple of different options for you. No heated rear seats on the Blackline trim. You got to pick a different couple of trims to get that. Let's take a look at the front seats. So again, part of the Blackline trim, you get this nice bronzed out finish right there, more bronze stitching along the top of the door. Just bits and pieces here and there. You do get 3 options for memory seats, which are right there. A little bit of storage. Let's quickly talk about the seats, because they are very comfortable, very Lexus. Again, nice bronze stitching only on the seat backs, not on the seat bottoms. And really, really good, strong, and supportive side bolsters. Thigh bolsters are good. Not as good as I've seen, but they still keep you in place and pretty comfortable. Here's an Irk. For a luxury vehicle, they should have put a cap on that. And if you can take a look, it does say Lexus on it, but just it looks unrefined and unfinished by not having a little like plastic or some kind of cap on that. Just would have liked to have seen that. Another small Irk. blank panel switches. I know this isn't the top trim. The executive package, I believe, is, but yeah, just blank panel switches. And then there's a couple more blank panel switches there. Old school trip odometer off to the side. I guess old school would have been an actual button to push down there, but that's okay. So let's get the car started. Start stop button in focus is right there. Take a look at the opening. So you get two big analog dials, digital in the middle. Little NX graphics shows up pretty nicely. Just back up a touch and give you a look. You got your paddle shifters, and then standard fare. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. Steering wheel is comfortable. It is heated. Heated steering wheel option or activation right there. There's nothing that shows up on the dashboard. It's only a little light that shows up. So, it still lets you know that it's doing it. Let's look at the infotainment. It's a staggered step system is what I call it. So you have your screen up here, little flat surface there, then you have your vents on the next step down. Next step down is your analog clock and your HVAC controls. So everything's pretty easily and well laid out, pretty easy to maneuver and well laid out. And I'm not sure you can see it, but there are green lights here to let you know what's what. So I don't want the air conditioning on, so it'll go off, and I do want it on now, so the light goes on. Cooled seats and heated seats on the Blackline trim. So you push the one that you want, and that activates your cooled seats. Then you kind of counteract that by going to your heated seats. Get 3, 2, and 1, and then it's off. So overall, I'm not a huge fan of it. It just seems very narrow and very cramped as opposed to it being a lot more lengthwise. But that's what Lexus has decided to do with the NX. Here is it's an Irk for me. There's some storage here, but I don't know what you'd actually put in there. Here's a Quirk. There's a CD player. There's the eject button. I don't have any CDs. I'm 42, but some of you out there who want the NX just might. And that little radio button changes. Let's see if we can get everything in one screen. That control gets you to the full radio screen, and then the media gets you there. There's no Bluetooth connected, so there's that. And 2 dials at the end for tune and your volume. Drive modes, you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. I'll show you the dashboard real quick. This is Eco, turns blue, and it says Eco on the bottom right of the middle screen. You turn it to the right, and you get Sport and push down, and that gets you in Normal. Here's my Irk. I don't like this. It's distracting. It's hard to operate while driving and being fully connected to the road. I understand why they did it. It's been a few years that they've had it. I think they should just cut their losses and come up with a dial system, or maybe in the next generation, put a touch screen and just get rid of the staggered step system and just make it flush. There's a steep learning curve for it. It can be done. Obviously, Lexus wouldn't mass manufacture vehicles for something impossible, but it is not the easiest system to begin to get used to. There are thankfully some hard touch buttons for your home menu and back, but the whole remote touch interface just it doesn't do it for me. Another kind of Irk for me, I'm not gonna. It wouldn't be a decision in not buying this if I was in the market for an NX. It's the staggered gear shift. So instead of it being straight down for a pull, you got to go to the right, down one for reverse. While we're here, I'll quickly give you a look at the backup camera, and your lines change when you turn the wheel. I'll go back down to the gear shift, and then you go down again to the left, and that's how you get neutral. And then it's a straight line down to drive, and if you want to do your manual shifts, just slide it over. But you can see it just staggered gates and goes up and around to the right, and then it rests on the left side for park. This is for your palm to kind of make it easier when you go through the infotainment. Here's a quirk. This part comes out, and that's where you put your sunglasses. That's a mirror. What's weird about that for me is you also have a mirror right there in the visor. So I'm not sure why you'd need 2, but that's my weird note on that. You got a couple of cup holders and a fairly large surface. Let me get turned around to give you a better look. Large surface for your armrest, and you open it up, and a little bit of space. There are 2 USB ports, and that's it right there, and another power source and your auxiliary power, but that's it. I'm okay with the 2 up front, but give me a couple on the back as well. You do get a power moonroof with this, and I like that it's a manual sunshade as opposed to it being electronic. Just less moving parts, less to break, less to fix. More of the bronze finisher, which is right there. Again, it's a little hard to see in the sun, but you can tell it's definitely bronze compared to the black. And you also got a black roof liner with the Blackline Edition. Small quirk with the speedometer, so you can see from 0 to 100, it's fairly big fonts for 0, 20, 40, 60, 80 to 100. But when you go to the other side from 100 up to 260, the font's got a lot smaller, so just kind of a little quirk on that. Let's do the drive. 2020 Lexus NX 300. Every NX gets the same engine, and that's a 2.0 liter turbo engine, 6-speed automatic, and it's 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. As far as acceleration and pickup goes, it's respectable. It's kind of well within the class. It's not lightning fast, but it is. It's fairly responsive as far as turning and handling and cornering goes. Yes, you're at a higher position or a higher center of gravity. You don't get any kind of weird weebles and wobbles out of it. But if you take a turn a little too fast, you know, might want to slow down a touch. But that's the case for any SUV crossover that has a higher center of gravity. But overall, just on the city streets and highways, the handling and cornering and turns are well handled by the NX. As far as noise, vibration, and harshness goes, fairly quiet in here, fairly serene. If you do find it to be a little on the noisy side, just put the radio up, and even put your favorite CD in, if you have CDs anywhere, because yes, as mentioned in the interior portion of the video, there is a CD player in the NX 300. Let's talk about fuel consumption. So on a 60-liter tank of recommended premium fuel, it's 10.7 liters per 100 kilometers on city streets, 8.5 on the highway, and your blended total comes out to 9.7. So it's not too bad. I gotta duck my head around as I come to a stop sign to let you know what I've got to. I'm at 9.9. And that's over about 250 kilometers worth of driving. So not too bad. A lot of it's been city street driving, and I think if I did some longer drives on the highway or back roads, that number would definitely come down a lot lower. Safety-wise, it's Lexus's Safety System 2.0, and I will put a list on that side of the screen, as I often do, including what comes with it. And I said it about the RAV4 that I had last week. I really like how Toyota/Lexus is incorporating some really good standard safety into all their vehicles. I will put a list of all the features that come with the Blackline Edition, and part of that is safety. I was going to say part of that are safety. Part of that is safety. So you get rear cross traffic alert, for example. You get blind spot monitoring as well. And those are kind of the big key takeaways as far as the safety side goes. And again, the list is on that side of the screen of what else comes with the Blackline Edition. The power tailgate, they just kick your foot under, the cooled seats as well. Would I go for the Blackline Edition? I really like wireless charging. It eliminates the clutter for cords, and also, since there are only two USB ports, I can't believe I stumbled over that. Since there's only 2 USB ports, and if I've got other people in the car, I do want something that lets me charge wirelessly, and you have to go up to, I believe it's either the it's the executive package that gives you wireless charging as an option. So I think I lean towards that, and you get a lot more fun and features with the executive package. But as far as the Blackline package goes, I'm happy that Lexus has put something out to still be able to get you into an NX with some bells and whistles. And I believe the NX package is a little over $6,000. Again, that's as of today, middle of June 2020. Prices change all the time as far as incentives go. So if you are looking at a 2020 NX, connect with your local dealer, and they should be able to give you everything you need. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Be safe, be healthy, be well, and I'll be back sooner than later with my next review.